What's good, Chiefs Kingdom, and welcome back to the Water Boys channel. As today, I got one of my hypothetical and actually one on very hopeful trade scenarios today. But before I dive into any of that, as I have mentioned before, thank you to everyone who is checking out the channel, and thank you for all the new subscribers. Thanks for everyone who's engaging and liking in the videos. It's very greatly appreciated. But be sure that if you are new or you haven't yet, please do subscribe to the channel because I'm releasing daily content on hypothetical trades. Like I said, we're going to have combine coming up, a draft, free agency is about to be wild, and I'm about to be all over it for the NFL and for the Kansas City Chiefs as well, so you do not want to miss out on any of that. But today's topic, we got Josh Allen traded to Kansas City, and it's not the Josh Allen that is the famous one out there that everyone loves, because people will go nuts and be like, wait, where's he going with this? Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes? No, I'm going with the young stud Josh Allen, the pass rusher out of Jacksonville. And without further ado, let's dive into this take. I swear, though, even though I was joking and things like that about the Josh Allen, of course, the one in Buffalo, there's going to be someone in the comments or someone initially thinking, Josh Allen to Kansas City, what the hell is he smoking? Now, come on, guys. Let's get more involved in football as well. This Josh Allen, even though he's not a high stud like that, and he's a low-profile young player as well, and I don't even want to say he's low as that because he's breaking the scenes as of late, and also he owns the other Josh Allen. One, he helped them, actually not even help, he mostly controlled the game that Jacksonville beat Buffalo later in the season 9-6 as well. And I think that's going to be one of the key components Kansas City is going to do. Hold up. Had to catch my breath. Thought I had the burp or sneeze, but I think he's going to be one of the main components that's going to help, kind of what makes Kansas City interested. And if you don't remember as well, even the trade deadline last year as well, he was spread around in rumors to go to KC. So it was very interesting to see as well. And then I think Buffalo and Kansas City are going to do this a lot this offseason, where they're going to find out how to beat one another. Kansas City is going to try to improve to where Buffalo can't compete with them, and Buffalo's going to do the same thing as well. And in Kansas City's aspect, why not get the guy who dominated him in that game where he had one sack, one forced fumble, and one interception return for a touchdown? He completely controlled that game, and I think his name is not being mentioned enough this offseason for Kansas City. When it comes to pass rushers, we hear the lights of Von Miller. I'm going to bring up, and I have brought up in my dream free agency, Emmanuel Ogbah. You even hear like the Jadeveon Clowneys, or even surprise ones like DeMarcus Lawrence, which I could be making a video for all these guys. You guys are going to have to stay tuned for that. But when it comes to this kid right here, Josh Allen, I think he would be one of my favorite pass rushers to get. I'm very high on Emmanuel Ogbah too as well. But the reason I'm high on these two is because even though their production might not be at the lights of like a Von Miller career-wise, they're still very young. And for someone like Josh Allen, 24 years old, that is crazy. He can literally build his career in KC, and that would be something I'd be excited to see. And he just brings a different type of speed rush that Kansas City has not seen in a while whatsoever. And now people will be talking about, well, what's the kind of value you do for a kid like that? Because he was a first-round pick, and he wasn't even just a first-round pick. He was a top 5 selection. So with that as well, people are going to be like, is he worth a first overall pick? And I think in Kansas City's aspect as well, yes. And you're going to hear me say this a lot throughout these videos I make as well. Kansas City's first-round pick isn't the same as like a Detroit's or even a mid-pack like a Philly as well. Like KC's is at the end bottom tier first round. So that means they're technically giving up a second round as well. And then you file in the other aspect is Brett Veach. We will keep talking about it, and once it gets draft season, it will be heard throughout the world as well, and definitely on this channel. He develops young gems in the later rounds, and like I mentioned, second, third, fourth, that's his money. Even in the 5th and 6th, he's found a Trey Smith in that round as well. He knows how to find these gems. That's why he's not too concerned with giving these first-round picks away, and honestly, I'm not either. If he could get valuable trade assets as well for him. Like we've got an Orlando Brown Jr., a starting left tackle. You guys can say what you want about Frank Clark. He did help us get a Super Bowl ring. He had one of the best playoff runs during that season as well, and it was needed. If you guys wanted, who would you want, Frank Clark or D Ford? And even after the trade as well, I'm still taking Frank Clark because D Ford has been hugely injury prone with the Niners, and he probably won't make it another season with them as well. So even though that trade didn't live up to the high expectations we were hoping for, Frank Clark is definitely a better pass rusher than Dee Ford. So KC won that trade as well. So let's not play like Kansas City just trades first round picks away for nothing and they don't amount to anything. They have really helped this team immensely as well. So if you're going to trade, and definitely for a Josh Allen, and if Kansas City is very like heavily interested, which I'm hoping, that can be a turn for like, I could say Josh Allen could be the pass rusher for like the next 8 to 10 years. A 24-year-old coming in, and even though his stats aren't eye-popping, he's had 20 and a half career sacks in 3 years. His sophomore year is where he kind of had the slump. Last year, it was off and on. He has 7.5 sacks, but again, what is that? Second on the team in the Chiefs, so that's like actually better production than what the Chiefs are used to. His rookie year, he came out with 10 sacks, so he can get production as well. And something I didn't look into as well, but I think that's got to be up there as well, as quarterback pressures. Like, this kid can play. He's so athletic as well. I think he just fits the mold of what this team is. And I think another underrated thing that a lot of people won't focus on as well that could get him there as well. You guys know who the new D-line coach is the Chiefs hired. Joe Coleman. He's the former Jacksonville Jaguars defensive line coach. Well, actually, defensive coordinator. And if he could just pull that final string and just bring him to Kansas City, that would be huge. And just imagine, like, literally, just imagine. So, and there's one thing I forgot to check in on, and leave it down in the comments below, because I know he's still on his rookie year deal. So that means his contract shouldn't be too crazy at the moment as well. He's going into year 4. You could pick up the 5th-year option. So you literally got 2 more years on this rookie deal before you got to extend him as well, which would be huge, which means you could still bring the lights of an Emmanuel Ogbah in as well. Re-sign Melvin Ingram. Like, you could still add another valuable pass rusher to this team if you traded for Josh Allen. He's not going to break the bank whatsoever. At least I hope not. This is all off the top of my head right now, because that was one fact I forgot to look into, was the contract, which honestly was kind of lazy on my end. But rookie deals don't tend to be that expensive. But then again, he was a top 5 pick, so it's going to be more expensive than your typical rookie deal. But it's not going to be something that's high end, like a $20 to $25 million a year. It'll be on the lower end, even if at the lowest minimum end it's what, 10, 11. I gotta assume it'd be somewhere around there. But I really want Josh Allen on this team, because he could be a component you can build around from the future as well. Like, he would be your key unit on that line as well, even in the later years when Chris Jones gets older. I'm not saying he's about to retire or anything as well, but he has had his injuries and things like that. And let's say KC's looking for a new turnover. I'm not saying this year, but in the future, you can build off Josh Allen on that line, build off the pieces in the secondary you're trying to get as well. You got a young piece already in L'Jarius Sneed. We'll see what Juan Thornhill becomes as well. But that whole secondary could get remodeled too, because we don't know what's going to happen with the Honey Badger, the landlord, Tyrann Mathieu. I hope he comes back, but again, he's going to command a high dollar sign as well. I think he should be one of Kansas City's top priorities in this offseason. But you just never know. We don't know what KC has drawn up on their whiteboards and what directions they want to move. I know one of their main pieces is that they want that left tackle to stay in Orlando Brown Jr. Makes sense, because they're hard to come by. But after that, I don't know if they're that interested in re-signing Tyrann. I hope they are, but you just never know, because I'd love to see him retire as a Chief. But again, if that dollar amount is too high, the KC can move on, and it would just be interesting to see. But I think Josh Allen would be a perfect fit. He's an under-the-radar kind of guy. You're not going to hear a lot of trade discussions, at least I don't think globally, media-wise, like on NFL Network or ESPN. And I think it might be one, when it breaks, will be surprising. But when you see a first-round, KC trades a first-round pick for Josh Allen, don't be surprised. And I wouldn't be upset about it whatsoever, because just because the production isn't there doesn't mean this kid can't ball out as well. And let's be real, too. Veach is taking flyers on these former first-round picks that have either been cut, or I think he has traded for one before as well. He likes these former first-round picks, and he does get them to their best potential as well. I'm not saying it's anything crazy or extraordinary, but they do tend to ball out with KC as well. And if he can bring Josh Allen to his fullest potential, woo, he might be one of the best pass rushers KC's ever had. And yeah, I'm not sliding the early 90s with the Derek Thomas and all that, but in recent day and age, like, let's say he can Oh, I don't even want to say that either because I'm going to get a lot of hate. But I can't recall our greatest pass rusher since Jared Allen. And now I could be completely wrong and I could be drawing a complete blank. And I kind of am. And it is kind of disrespectful as well because we did have the likes of a Justin Houston and a Tom Ali as well. But, whew. See, now I'm going to get caught in words here, but I think mostly they played linebacker position, which was easy for them to come in and come off the edge. I think I got to look more into Josh Allen as well. I think he plays strictly on the line, which makes a difference as well. I know Justin Houston as of late has been playing off the line as well, but it's because of older age. That's mostly what he does is just rush the passer and go. And I don't want to get any heat for it as well because Justin Houston and Tom Bahali did their thing, but I just remember straight off the line, Jared Allen was the last one that I remember, and I solely had fun watching him, the quarterback. And then as for linebacker wise, it was Justin Houston and Tamba Ali as well. You can correct me down in the comments if you want. You could roast me, I don't care. But I didn't leave them out. I do remember. Ooh, caught up. I do remember them as well. It's just I think Josh Allen, even as a Tamba Ali or Justin Houston, I think he does have that type of potential. I really believe in him. But let me know down in the comments below. Is this a move that you would be willing to risk a first-round pick for, or do you think they should go for someone in free agency? Do you think they should take the 1 or 2 year deal with a Von Miller too, which I wouldn't be mad at, but I'm looking at longevity-wise as well. Or we can go off my dream free agency. Do you think an Emmanuel Ogbah should come to this team because he's been a proven vet as well? He does it year in and year out. He knows how to rush the passer. Or, hey, let's take a flyer on a kid, even though it's not really a flyer because it's a first-round pick. But, man, you have a lot of upside with Josh Allen. So let me know down in the comments below where you think our move should be for a pass rusher this season. And without further ado, I am going to close this video out. And you already know I'm going to have another hot topic for you guys tomorrow. It'll be another trade debate. Who do you think it'll be? Leave that in the comments down below. Let me know as well. Who do you think I should talk about next in the upcoming days as well? Because I'll do a video on a lot of players. And if there's a specific one you want me to talk about, I will dive in. And without further ado, like I did mention, guys, thank you for checking out this channel. Please remember to subscribe. Remember to leave that thumbs up to like this video. And without further ado, I am checking out. Peace.